Listen, man. Well, with all this stuff that's going on in this city, a kid from Inglewood got something positive going on. That makes me feel so good, man. Well, this shoe is great. This is great, but I can't explain it.
So, as I said before, what is going on here? I'm on my way to, sorry you guys, I gotta fix my camera. Okay, hopefully it's okay. Y'all see all that graffiti and stuff? Alright, I don't even know. I'm on my way to my favorite basketball player's neighborhood, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is my favorite basketball player. He inspired me when I was a kid in high school. Me and him come from the same neighborhood, type of neighborhoods. He grew up in Inglewood in Chicago. I grew up on Brentwood. Our neighborhoods faced the same thing. But me and him had one similar thing, and that was basketball. And he used basketball as a way to make it out his neighborhood. Even though all of the drugs, the gang, the violence, all that stuff was around him, he made his mind up and chose not to fall victim to those things. And he basically made his mind up to make it out his neighborhood. I remind, like, a lot of parts of myself. I see a lot of D Rose in me due to the way that he think. He also, like, similar things that I speak about in the injustice in our communities. He actually speaks on similar things, the same things too. He didn't give up. Like, when I say, like, like, life is all about choices, you know. But I can't say how strong a person is. But I feel like life is all about choices, and you choose the path that you want to take. All you have to do is make your mind up. When I was in the ghetto, living around the things that I lived around, the gang, the drugs, the violence, etc., I made my mind up, and I told I didn't want to fall victim. I didn't want to sell drugs, and I didn't want to do the things that was in my community. I didn't want to do all those things. And I stuck to basketball. Basketball to me was my way out. And I felt like it was another way out of my community. And I didn't want to follow the way that I was raised in. Because if I did, you know, it would have been my fault, because I chose my own life. I chose my own path. But I wanted out, you know, and God led me out, you know. And D Rose, he wanted out, and he stayed focused, you know. A lot of kids in the ghetto right now, you just have to make your mind up. If you want out, then you can't follow after things that's gonna bring you backwards, or it's gonna do something to you where, you know, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. If you want out of your neighborhood, stay focused on the right things, no matter how much the peer pressure you face, etc. You know. But we're on our way there right now. I am 24 minutes away, so I hit y'all when I'm ready. It's a man over here that's just jamming. Y'all hear his music? He got a beatbox. Look at him. He jamming. You know. All our cities are different. Like Indianapolis, it's very country. It's a country style, more like a down south. Chicago is give me more of an East Coast vibe, a East Coast type of style, like Baltimore, Philly type, you know, DC. But Indianapolis, you know, Gary is more like Chicago too, even though it's in Indiana. But Indianapolis is more of a down south hood, like Baton Rouge, Atlanta, etc. But yeah, right now we are going off of what, 50th Street, 49th, Lil Bango. Y'all know nothing about Lil Bango. Very unique city here. I mean, it's very unique here. You know, actually, my first time like truly moving to Chicago by myself was when I was in college. 2015, when I went off to college, when my neighborhood actually was at war with each other. They was actually killing each other, selling drugs, etc. It was actually a police raid, one of the biggest in Indianapolis, they say. And you know, that's why I say life is about choices, because I could have went that path, but I was going off to college because that's the path I wanted. And that's when I moved to Chicago. Chicago was the first city that showed me life outside of Post Road. The world was so big outside of Post Road. I was able to be myself. I didn't have to be this gang member in order to fit in. I didn't have to hide myself. The people who came around me, or who you know, who took me under their wing when I was in college, accepted the true me. A lot of those people there I met from Chicago in college. They didn't know I was actually from a hood, or I was born into a gang, or used to be a gang member, because I didn't carry myself that way, because I didn't want to carry myself under that gangster image. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to think those ways. But my environment, my household didn't accept the true me. So in order to fit in, to be accepted, I had to, you know, adapt to my environment, you know. But when I was in Chicago, I was so happy to be free, you know. But we off of 53rd. We off the main street right now. Chicago is like any other hood, any other city. It's bad and good, you know. All their hoods is the same as the hoods on Post Road, and all Post Road, and Post Road is just like any hood in America, and just like Chicago hoods. We're actually off of 63rd, going down South Ashland Avenue. What do y'all think? What else we need to do in this community? So how can we change the mindset of an individual? First, I know that in order to change an individual, they're gonna have to want change themselves. But do y'all think that what I'm doing is showing them their mentality? Like I'm trying to expose their condition to themselves, because to a point, psychologically, they believe that it's so normal the way that they live, that the lifestyle that they grew up under, they have made it a normal way to live, and they don't know that it's bad. You know, they actually believe it's normal. They actually believe it's normal to live the way that they're living. You know. So I'll try to make these videos to make them aware that these ways are not normal. You know.
In 1 mile.
So we are about to enter Derrick Rose's neighborhood. The real D Rose.
Turn right onto West 73rd Street. Then the destination is on your left. In a 1/4 mile, the destination is on your left.
Sorry for those sounds, y'all. Anyways, this is D Rose neighborhood, 73rd. This is not the street that he grew up on. I can show y'all that. This is the street that D Rose grew up on. This is 73rd in Paulina. This is his neighborhood. Let me find that house. First off, hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all the basketball court. But this, I'm gonna go down the street so y'all can see this. That's the street that he grew up on. The street that I just left. And this is the park that he played at.
The destination is on your left. Murray Park.
And also, I think I'm about
Arrived.
I'm at the park, so y'all can see. You see, they got police cameras in his neighborhood. I'm at the park, so y'all can see the basketball court that he bought. Well, he didn't bought. I don't think he bought it, but he did put his name on it. So yeah, we're about to turn around though. If y'all didn't see his documentary, y'all should watch his documentary. He speaks a lot about certain things in his community. How they used to call this neighborhood. They call this park Murderville or Murder Park. And the only people who had a pass in that neighborhood were like basketball players, you know, people like D Rose, you know. So yeah, I'm about to get out and I'm about to switch it with my GoPro. So if you see the quality has changed, it is because I switched it out with my GoPro. We can park right here. If you think I'm excited, it's because I am. Because I'm a big D Rose fan, you guys, and this is his neighborhood. This is the neighborhood that he grew up in. He played basketball at, you know, Brentwood. I mean, not on Brentwood. When I played basketball in some place and I used to walk down the street with my basketball in my neighborhood, you know. Probably one day, who knows, I would probably have a kid excited to go in my neighborhood just to see where I grew up at and play basketball at, like I'm excited to go to D Rose neighborhood. Because D Rose he inspired me. He was the only person. D Rose is truly the only person that ever inspired me. You know, when he used to play in the playoffs, and he lost, I skipped school for like what, 2 days I think, because people at school knew how much I loved D Rose. And I knew they was gonna say something to me, so when I went back to school, I act like I was mad so they wouldn't say nothing to me, you know. But this is the same court. Hopefully they got his name still up here. It kind of went off, but because this is old, but if you can see it a little bit, it actually still says D Rose a little bit. But he did that. He put this name on his court a long time ago. But this is for you, D Rose. Oh, that's all. Sorry, I gotta warm up. You guys. But yeah, his name is still on this court. It's just fading away because it's old, you know. It was a long time ago when he put that on here. You know? I think it was his, what? I think it was his rookie year or his sophomore year in the NBA when he did that. But this neighborhood is a rough neighborhood, you know. But this is D Rose neighborhood, y'all. And I'm hooping on his court that he played at as a child. All you D Rose fans that find this all you D Rose fans that find this video, I should have got my coat so I can walk down Paula. This is double rim too, so I used to play on double rim. Ugh, it's kind of cold. I'm gonna walk down here. So y'all can see the process of, or the pathway that D Rose took when he was a kid and he used to walk, you know, to hoop on his basketball court. He got his name on. It's kind of cold out here and I didn't bring my coat. Ugh. tackle football. As you see, the 73rd. Do I think D Rose is still one of the best basketball players? A lot of people be sleeping on him because, you know, it's a wave thing. You know, they gonna follow a certain wave, and people think D Rose still don't have it, but he still do. He still plays the same, but he's more mature now, and he's not as reckless. And he's not the number one option on the team. But if he was the number one option on the team, trust and believe what he did in his younger days, he can do better now. You know, he got some caution tape right here. He can do better now. You know, I still believe in D Rose. I always believed in D Rose. Even when he got injured, I stood by his side. As you see, this is the street that D Rose was raised on. I don't know which house it was, but the house is actually on this road that I'm looking at right now. As you can see, 73rd and Paulina is D Rose neighborhood where he grew up at. And I'm about to go to the other building where he grew up at too, or where he lived. But me and D Rose have a lot of things, you know. I looked up D Rose. He's very humble. He speak on a lot of injustice stuff that I speak about that's happening in our communities. We have some differences on what he believes in too, but most of it that what we believe in is the same as each other. He's very humble. He's a very quiet guy. I hope one day I can meet him. Like, I went to his games, but I hope to meet him one day, you know. I hope to meet him one day. But this building right here, this red brick building that I'm looking, that's ahead of me, is actually a building that he used to live in too. Yeah, this is his neighborhood, you guys. Hopefully you D Rose fans get a thrill out of this. Go watch his documentary. He speaks about a lot of stuff, you know. We come from the same type of neighborhoods, you know, and I hope this video gets to him, you know. But yeah, 73rd and Paulina, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this is his neighborhood, you know. It's very fascinating because when I think about D Rose, I actually see myself, you know. And that's why I believe inspired me the most, is because he came from the same environment as me. And his mindset, you know, we kind of have similar things where a lot of things were surrounding us. I came from a broken household. We barely had money. I thought people were rich. If you live in a bigger, you didn't even have to be rich, but if your house was big enough where I thought you were rich, I would call you rich. '73rd. See, I got my basketball. I feeling like D Rose. Yeah, one of those houses is the street that he lived on. I mean, it's a house that he lived at, but this is the pathway that D Rose took to hoop, y'all. You know, if D Rose, if he don't be in the Hall of Fame in the NBA, just know that he'll always be in the Hall of Fame in the hood, because he touched a lot of kids that come from the same situation and environment that he come from, you know. This is Murray Park, you guys. As you can see, the sign right there. This is crazy. Actually, I rode through his neighborhood one time, but this is actually my first time playing on his basketball court. This is crazy because when I look at D Rose, I really look at myself. You know, it's like I'm seeing myself. I don't know if y'all understand it, but it's like I'm looking at me, you know, because I don't know, man. We just come from the same environment. We have similarities, a lot of similarities, and just because he's a kid from the hood who inspired me, you know, and I'm a kid from the hood, and you know, I don't know how to explain it, y'all. One eat, everybody eat. Everybody eats. And shout out to his homie that actually got a clothing line that says everybody eats. We out. Let's get it. What's crazy, me and D Rose is only like 5 years older than me, and if we grew up in the same neighborhood, we would have played with each other, because he was only 5 years older than me, you know. And I started hooping at a young age, so when he was outside, I probably would have been out here too.